All right. Hello and welcome to another case of Crimes Against Roleplay. I'm here again with my friend, Detective Nicolas, better known as Etra RPG.
That's right. It is I once again. I traversed the jungles just to be here with my machete.
Beautiful. How are you feeling, man? How's the week been, the day been?
Been good. The air is getting a little bit chillier. I like that. A bit of cold in the morning, at night. Days still hot though, but the weather transition is coming in. I'm happy about that. It's gonna be fall here, so
That's nice. The weather over here, it warmed up for a bit, like good 12 degrees Celsius. And the last couple days it cooled down to -3 in the evenings.
there
So
you go.
I always feels like I'm catching a cold going out on a walk.
Well, that's life. We get used.
Yeah,
I was talking about that the other day. Every year we know how it will go, and we still get surprised somehow. Like,
all
oh, it's
right.
hot in summer. Like, oh, what a wonder. That was the same thing.
Okay. Hello, Kingmaker. Welcome to the chats. What did I miss? Not much. We just went live. Technical
Yeah,
difficulties
exactly.
uh, overcome, more or less.
Yeah, man, technology, the daunting thing. So, but we're prosperous. We're prospering. Is that a word?
Uh,
Prospering.
I don't, not
It
in
is
that
right to
context.
prosper.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyhow, we got it going. We're good. We are colorless.
except for the title, the stark red
Yeah,
contrast.
looks good. Looks good.
Okay, so topic of the day. We don't have too much time. You have to clock out and other business meetings that need attending. Diversifying the portfolio. Really, the Crimes Against Roleplay division, it doesn't pay much. Really, this is like the second job you do on the side to pay like the cat food.
Exactly. It is a dirty job at the end of the day. No recognition, no money, no ladies, nothing, no glory.
We just do it
But
for
we
the
do because we
passion.
must.
And
It's
you have an excuse
it's
to
a
smoke
thankless
on the
job.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have an
But
excuse
yeah,
to smoke on
man.
the job. It's like
Exactly. I mean, it's the 40s, I guess. So smoking is the norm. You should be smoking. Like, what are you doing if you're not smoking? You know?
true. All right, nice
Yeah.
streaming in 4040p by Elianaris. Thank you. It's not going to show all of the pixels in this stream because it's scuffed. But we do what we can and learn with every stream, every new content we release.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions setting up the stream. Basically, we tried one thing, didn't work, then try a second thing, didn't work. And the third thing would work with a little bit of, craftiness, and I think it's
Yeah,
gonna like pull it off at the end.
basically,
So that's what we're working with.
yeah, elbow grease, right? That's what we use to
Yeah.
make things work.
If you open the hood of the car, you see a hamster wheel with a squirrel in it. That's hot moving things.
Hello, Doodle Squatch. If YouTube is paying the cat food bill, you're doing good. Man, I wish.
Yeah.
We're just
Hey,
role
go.
playing getting paid, That's the
Yeah, that's a dream for few.
Video
We
Ninja plus
tried Video
OBS.
Ninja. Yeah,
Yes.
that was the first thing that didn't work because of audio problems. And then we thought, oh, let's go to StreamYard, but then StreamYard would open a new link. So the last option was just go through Discord. Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Bacon.
We did
It's
try
my boy.
one of the problems was when I mean the audio problem is one thing because then I just have the echo all the time. So I need a way around that. But also the video, when I have it on OBS, it was really small because I set up OBS to stream in 1440p, but the video resolution I get is tiny. So I blow that one up and then it's all pixely, you know. So I definitely,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
something I
blurry.
need to look at for a couple of hours. Like, how do people actually get high resolution?
Yeah. I look like Naruto episode 2, part 3 on YouTube, you know?
On YouTube?
.amv. Yeah. That's how we did it back then, man.
Yeah.
You get one episode divided in 12 parts. Each part is like 10 minutes because there was this one time, you probably remember that YouTube videos could only be 10 minutes.
Yes, I
So
do.
that's
I
how
do
you do.
remember.
Yeah.
Every anime was listed twice, you know, episode 1, episode 2.
Yeah. Part 1, part 2, part 3. And yeah, it was 140 pixels.
I forgot to turn on my light. Normally
Actually,
have
740.
yeah, 740 or 480 even, you know. It's like
Oh yeah. That was really scuffed, but
for all the
that's what we
anime
had
that
back in the day.
nobody knows, you just stumble over it like, what's this? It looks like
It's
anime.
free, so
And you watch him just go to the grocery store, store shopping for 5 minutes, and you ask like, "Wow, this is really profound and interesting. I have no idea what's going on right now."
yeah, it was an experience. Yeah, you cannot do anything on YouTube.
All right, what do we want to tackle? We got our own game we can have a look at. Of
Yeah,
course, Crimes Against Roleplay. It can happen to anybody.
consider it the corruption within, you know, the department.
You have to
We're
take a
not.
closer look.
We're fallible. Yeah,
Okay. I'm switching the scenes. Swoosh
do it.
noise. There we go.
Yeah. So last game, I'll preface this a little. And I think I don't know how visible is that because I know I look tired all the time, but it took me a while to get into the headset of the character, to get in the mood of, you know, like D&D, you know, like the hype. It took me a good while, and I feel like that transpired into me not being very proactive as a character, you know. And at least on my part, I feel like that impacted a lot of things with the game.
Now
Why do I look so much darker? What are you doing?
what
You
I'm
put me in the
doing.
shadow realm. Yeah, look at the
I
stream.
don't.
I'm in the shadow realm.
I,
You're messing with
I
Discord.
turned on
There you
my
go.
light. You know, I got the lights.
Oh, okay.
Turn it on.
I know on Discord, you could see like you doing things, man. This is so scuffed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
anyhow, but yeah, so I was having
I
that.
just realized that I share my screen of the video, but you cannot hear that, right?
I can want. Oh yeah, you have to. We have
Right.
to share it inside. I'll talk as you do that. So I was having that like warming up, you know, the engine needed to warm up a little. But it also could be because I really dislike combat, especially in D&D. I don't dislike it, and I hate it. To be more precise, it's just awful. So when combat started, I was like, you know, like, okay, I can do this. It's a bad attitude on my part. But then by like the third act, let's call it, we started having some intrigue happening, and then that got me going. I was like, oh boy, like now things are good, you know. We had the dagger thing, and then there was, you know what, Rat is going there, is gonna plant some fake evidences. Like that got me like excited for the rest of the game. But then it was already the end of the game. Now I don't know, like I said, if that's just me having preferences or if there's something deeper to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I'm changing the whole setup. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to show you and me again.
Yep. There you go, man.
More or less good enough to showcase.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna play some of the intro music. You tell me if you can actually hear it. That's one of
Yep.
the problems we've been having. Okay, Discord gives me a warning that it cannot stream the sound application. Let's see.
Oh. Yeah, I don't.
No audio?
No audio. And it broke the stream as well.
Oh. It's because I went full screen. Okay, there we go.
So people can hear it. It's just I can.
Yeah, that's a problem since you need to. You're my partner in crime here. Because.
Yeah, I can hear it on the stream. It's just you'll be quiet and I will be quiet.
So, I can stop streaming and you stream the videos that we want to.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
You can play.
Do we want to go from the start?
Yeah, you can play a little bit at the start, and I'll comment on
Okay,
the things
let's go.
as well.
Hello and welcome to Delicious Tracks, the second session. Over here are the remnants of the orcish hordes supporting the Lich. After his fall, a generation has passed. We watch the survivors traveling into a forest, scouting out outside of their orc home. Amongst a cluster of trees lies an young orc face down in the leaves.
Lying on the ground, bleeding from the wound from the hydra that we just chased away. I'm breathing heavily. I pick up my short sword. I stand up, lean against the tree nearby.
I'm up on my hind legs with blood running down my face, and I'm peering out into the darkness, trying to see where this monster ran off to.
The direction of the monster appearing to be northwest, downhill, deeper into the forest, into the valley itself. Red bastard.
I'm inside the roots of a very large tree. I'm chewing on something. I'm squeezed into this tiny hole. My eyes reflecting a little bit of some moonlight. Anxious, squirming every now and then, but nonetheless silent, listening.
All right, let's stop here for a second.
Yeah.
The opening. I just hear myself thinking, like stumbling over my own words on how to open the scene, you know? that's all I
think
hear.
everybody had a little bit of that. Like the only one who didn't stumble a bit was Max himself. I feel like the rest of us were a bit lost, and I wonder if that's due to how the previous session ended. Even though it was a good point to to end it. But I don't know. I wonder if it's because of that, you know.
Yeah, we had
I kind
a
of feel like
good,
maybe a longer time skip could have solved that, maybe.
of course, so what would you solve with the time skip specifically?
I don't know. I said that, but then I thought a little bit more. I don't know if that would help. But for example, Red was, like away in the woods, below a tree. Max was on the ground. If there would have been a time skip, I guess we should have talked about that. But maybe
Yeah,
we could have already jumped to the point where everybody already regrouped and they're in the camp. But then that would take away the chance to look at the orc child, to look around, So I don't know if that's really a good idea.
that is my thinking as well. The reason I want to jump in where we dropped off is
Mm-hmm.
there's a
There's a lot to
body,
unpack there.
there's a mystery, really. Like, what is this orc child doing? It was caught by the Hydra. It is one of kin, so it's very important how does the scouting party react to the orc, especially Mr. Max, because Omelette
Yeah.
I mean, we can give him the spotlight to interact with the child, and really all he sees is food. It's what I assume. It's prey. He's unconscious. He did not have
Easy
the
prey.
power to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because out of the game, nobody who watches these episodes know how much Mr. Max jokes about, oh, you keep bringing up this orc child. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel maybe this is about the whole session. And I know Crap showed up, so when he gets to this point, I'd like him to comment and say something. I feel like we did a lot of nothing. And it's not like we were anchoring or like having an interesting low energy scene happening.
Yeah.
That we didn't have that much going on besides the actual fight with the guys. That was actual something that happened. Because when I think of the first session, we had a lot of moments of walking and wandering, but there was character dynamic happening a lot.
Yes.
And at least on my end, I'm saying this as my character. I don't think I did that as much. I don't know if Yakrap felt like he did more with Max. Maybe they felt that they did more. But on my end, I think I lacked a lot on this session. And that's why I'm delivering myself to the department, saying that I'm guilty.
Stop turning yourself in. No, I'm ripping. No, I'm not writing you up for this one. Look, this can happen to anybody. It doesn't mean that John Roleplay has to die, but we come in, we want
was
to.
an indirect culprit.
Yeah, we want to
It's my fault.
We want to play a session, right? Like we have a bi-weekly commitment. Some people have a weekly commitment, and you cannot always be on your A game. Even on the days where you feel a bit down, at the end of the day, you're playing a game with people. So the social interaction is still there. But how do we keep roleplay going? How do we not just have a boring like that's what are people afraid of? It's a boring session where everybody stays in character doing nothing and nothing gets done because you cannot ask the game master of like, can we move on to something interesting? This off the table talk.
Yeah.
Maybe you feel like, I wish I could just ask if we can move forward. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean, like asking and like touching the DM with a stick, like do something?
Not just touching
Because
the DM.
I don't think
not just touching the DM with a stick, but be like, okay, cool. What's next? You know, you're like,
No, I
okay,
feel like the players share an equal amount of responsibility of moving things forward. So if you have 4 people, GM included, everybody's sharing 25% of the load of moving things forward. You know what I mean?
yes,
And I feel like that on my end, at least for, like I said, the first thirds of the game, I didn't do that until I started like actually being a bastard and like doing things. Then like it actually got exciting for me because I could play my character. So on that part, I'm blaming myself.
I feel you. Yeah, for sure.
Because there were a
But
lot of moments where I was like saying, "Oh, I look around," and I was kind of waiting for you to throw something at me that I could work off, but I was on throwing things at you that you could work off until when I started doing that.
yeah, you say like you look around. I think I completely missed that, if I'm honest. I probably was just like thinking of waiting for the players to choose a direction of what they want to do,
Mm-hmm.
of what they are trying to accomplish. Because I think I completely missed that point of you looking around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you and that shows up like in a couple minutes of the video returning to the party, I described the visuals from your perspective of the silhouettes
Mm-hmm.
uh, of your party members, basically. Of like, okay, they are in visual range now in the nights. Did that come across for you, or was that
Yeah, I
feeling?
got that. So much so that at first he was going to just come up and like, "Hey, I'm here." But when you mentioned, "Oh, I'm actually, approaching," so I might as well like be snooping a little bit before showing up to see if they're talking about me or if I can hear something that could be beneficial to me.
Yeah,
So
that
that
was
helped me. Yeah, that helped me.
that's a conscious choice of you approaching them, giving you basically first strike what you want to do with that information, because you see them, they don't see you, at least like as a general
Mm-hmm.
concept.
Omelette could have sniffed me if he wanted. If he wished to 4D that, I wouldn't be mad with at him.
Yeah, I'd
You
be
know what I
okay
mean?
with that, unless you described yourself sneaking up, you know. If you're
Yeah.
deliberately said at some point you're sneaking up, then I think it's okay. But
Yeah.
it's in the
But
realms
it
of
would be
everything is
within
okay.
his character's scope to,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's fine. Yeah, but the silhouette thing on your part, I think it's a neat moment to show people the collaborative definition of a
yeah,
scene, because that helped me going more into character, because I didn't even cross my mind, and again, that's maybe because it took me some time to get into the skin of Rat Bastard, but it didn't cross my mind to be a little bit more sneaky and let me first try to see if I can hear anything before going in. So that
yeah.
helped me. That was a good push forward. And it wasn't intrusive at all. You didn't move me. You just mentioned the world around me shifting as I walk, which is fine.
There's a point of I start a scene, right? There's you most tables they just do that. The game master has to set the table somehow. So
Yeah,
and then you guys
it's your
each take
job.
a turn. Mr. Max has his turn. Omelette has his turn. And then I respond to him instead of letting you take your turn. How do you feel about that? Because it looked like that I've interrupted you, like you were ready to take your turn.
I don't remember that, maybe, but it wasn't anything major because I was just like, I'm gonna just listen to them for a while anyway. So if it was an interruption, fortunately, it wasn't a big one.
Got it. As a philosophical point, Is it better that the game master responds to every turn, or to allow every player have a turn and then respond to all the
I
turns,
think
like
it
giving the
depends
points of
on
reflection?
what is happening, especially on like low stake scenes or low action, low energy scenes. I feel
Yes.
like the gem should shut up more. But on the high stakes, high energy, I feel it's appropriate for the GM to be interjecting because things are happening. Bullets are flying. So like, I feel like that's a good way to give off this impression of high pace. And that's
Yeah,
talking
I
about high
agree.
pace. When we get to the combat, I would like to mention that because I have this philosophy of if my character is in a high action scene, I want to speak in a way that gives off that impression that he's or her in. And I think I failed miserably at that the first combat. At
I
that,
see.
but I think I blame a little bit of me not liking D&D's combat style mechanics.
Well, let's go forward a bit, right? This is just the first line. Let's hop in like 25 minutes. We've warmed up at this point. We're role playing, trying to figure out what to do. And I just picked this random spot over here. And let's see how it goes for like the next minute or two.
And with my bone dagger, I scribe a little tiny rune on the bark.
Sounds from the forest off to the west, a region you have not yet explored, talking in a language uncommon to you guys, off to the distance, reaching on the wind your ears.
I drop the hatchet on the floor on the hut in the hut. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
Cracking of footsteps approaching.
A foreign tongue.
So yeah, I just heard somebody step.
I
Hydra,
dropped the
what am I
Hydra head
to-
on the ground.
I rush towards the entrance of the hut, seeing who it is.
One man
I was very
speaking
confused this
to
whole time.
another, the size of corn pop. Again, you were very confused?
Yeah. We paused. Yeah. So we talked about that at the end, but I wasn't really sure where we were. Like, are we at a village right now? Are we at a camp? Like, so I wasn't trying. I was trying to not
Yes.
co-create or co-create anything that would be a bit too much. Then the guy showed up and like, wait, so that cannot be the the village because why would you humans just walk in? And then I thought maybe when he said man, he was meaning male arcs. But then why were they speaking a uncommon language? So it got me a little bit to like, oh, we are the camp that we sat in the last session, not in the village. So that's why I was like trying to like listen, see more than approach and do anything. Also, at one point, I was not sure if the hut was a tent, because if it were a tent, that goblin would have lifted one of the ends and like scared away outside from the opposite direction of the entrance, so he could sneak to get a better position to shoot them. But because they kept using the word hut, I kept imagining a mud hut. So like, I'm not gonna do that because they already said a door, which made me very confused. Wait, so it cannot be a tent. There's a door,
It was it was a tough spot for us because as a game master, I'm trying to not intrude too much, but I want the world to be alive and to react. At the same time, if you run a game, you don't want to waste everybody's time. Like nothing is more boring than sitting in a bar ordering your like 14th beer and nothing happening in this fantasy world you're playing in. Let's cut to the chase, so to say. All right. We got
crap.
Crap.
I get that there could be a door flap, but it threw me off, Like it unbalanced me. I was stumbling a bit because of wait, so I decided to not co-create anything about that.
In a way, it's like we were playing blindfolded. The mindscaping was
very blurry.
It was very blurry. It was unclear, and you just go off your sense of balance. And sometimes you're like stumbling over the door that suddenly has been imagined in your way, like, and it throws you off. Like, wait, hold on. In my head,
yeah, but that's growing pains.
You guys were still in the forest, right? You are in the forest. Where you are returning to is the camp you've set up, where you eat the rabbits last session. It was like stone's throw away from the Hydra battle, because that's what was in hearing distance. Going back to your hut or where you live means passing the upturned tree and spending hours on the walk. And I would imagine that being mentioned, but nobody mentioned that. Like, let's go home.
Because in my head, we'll didn't take that same route,
Yeah.
We did like an L,
And if you tried, that would be a survival check. Like, this is a massive scouting place you've never been to, and you take a different route. Roll a survival or get lost. But I did not. I did not get that message of I'm just taking any old routes.
Yeah. Well, it didn't say anything, but the way I was envisioning, like, we started here and then we did this to get to the Hydra. And then, you know what? Let's go back. So let's take the shortest route. That's how I ended up envisioning the travel. But I didn't say anything. That was just happening. I was role-playing my mind.
Is 4D roleplay dangerous? Can you entrap your mind?
Yeah, you never leave.
Is it an
like the back rooms of roleplay?
An MC Escher staircase,
Yeah, exactly.
Does the stairway go up or down? Who knows? Like,
yeah. And but yeah, so I don't know. I feel like the next session will be more interesting. There will certainly be a lot of things happening. But then again, and yeah, crap. I wish you to manifest yourself. I don't know if that's just me disliking combat in D&D or just me excited to do intrigue as a bastard goblin.
Which part do you want to go next? This is like the start of the combat, the build up to it.
Oh yeah, I was not calculating my numbers right, but that's not about roleplay. That's just retardation, mechanical.
Yeah, I would say this is not a failure to roleplay. It's
because I stayed in character.
Yes, we did. It is the mindscaping. Like, we did not mindscape. I think I did not mindscape very well, because it's up to me as a game master to pick up on, oh, the players are confused. Let me increase the resolution of the scenery around them. Because I did that an hour in, when you were walking. Yeah, I'm walking up to the chief, and then I throw in, the chieftain's hut is a day's travel away with the rest of the orcs, which is me correcting everybody's imagination, basically. Was it a retcon at that point? I think if I caught it like 10 minutes earlier, it would be so much smoother, because everybody already like established in their minds they're back. But nobody tried to talk to other orcs or goblins or anything.
Yeah, I was about, like, because you ended the session, I was about to mention me walking beside another goblin, and I was going to do a thing. But then the session ended right there. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I'll leave for the beginning of next session.
I was trying to.
Can you give me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I have to
Yes.
give me like 1 minute, real quick.
All right. Giving Nicholas 1 minute. Hello, chat. You guys talk to me, boys. It's tough on those off days. Yes, I agree, Kingmaker. Look, you just clock in to the job whether you're feeling motivated or not. Somebody has to do it. Especially just for role playing. You set the weekly date because you want the adventure to move forward, right? You don't want to get stuck doing the same thing for like 2 months in a row, where every other session is cancelled and it's already bi-weekly, and suddenly 2 months have passed and you only played 3 sessions. Yeah, crap, I'm excited. I was ready to play more right after we ended the post-session talks. Oh, that's good to hear. But I'm super happy that you're excited, yeah, crap. Glad to hear that you're ready to play some more. I wanted to cut off before we arrive in the village because I didn't invent the village yet. That to me was like, oh, do I prep or do I not prep? I just need a like small idea of orc culture, but not define anything because that should be up to Mr. Max. How do orcs behave? Red bastards. What are the goblins like? And the omelets, how the fuck did he survive there, you know? They should be the ones really expanding what the village is about and have room to 40 roleplay by talking to each other or talking to the goblins. So for me at this point, like little curtain drawn curtain away, what's behind the curtain? It's hot air, you know. It's ideas. You know, it's like a blank whiteboard. That's like one word written down. Orcs are green and brown, like with explanation marks.
Sometimes, bro. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so excited for more combat, see? So it's probably just me, the combat part. Which fair enough, you know.
Yeah,
maybe Corn Pop will put you in like a fighting pit or something. That's how we make money in the tribe.
I think we probably don't need to do any more combat. I think this was okay.
No, I think we will do combat if it happens, you know. I don't think
Yes.
something that we should plan. Let's have at least 3 combat scene. You know, that's not good.
The
Not a good
combat
way to
scenes,
see the session.
they are especially here to, first of all, the world is dangerous. And to survive, you have to be ready for combat, right?
Yeah, and it's D&D. You fight stuff.
Yes, it's also D&D, exactly. Can we roleplay in D&D? So we need some combat to showcase how we handle that and how we go about it. So we have something to talk about when it's over.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, combat was fine. There was only one, right? It felt like there was 2 for some reason.
Only one.
Yeah, felt like 2 for me. I don't know why. It was so much of a burden that it felt like 2. But again, that's just me. That's just me.
I mean, we can talk. It's not a roleplay issue, but you showed up for the game. What I would call unprepared, right? So
yeah,
we settle for the dates, and we.
I mean, not unprepared.
Yeah, we get ready, but combat is going to happen. You know, like when you play Traveler, you understand you roll 2d6. You know what is an easy roll.
Yeah.
What is a hard
No,
roll?
I knew what was rolling. I was just adding the wrong. Like I was forgetting to add +2, but I did everything correctly. Other than that, don't make it sound like I came in like, what does this one do? You know, like holding the T20.
But that is a key, like bonuses of +2 makes a massive difference
Yeah.
in D&D because the dice are so swingy.
No, yeah, I get you, but like I did everything in principle. No, it's like baking a cake and then
Yeah.
just forget to add one extra egg. It's like
Yeah,
I know it
it's
makes a
like-
big difference,
yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was not that far off from the cake. You know, like come on.
I'm grilling you a bit too much here. You're calling me out. It's like, come on, man. I was working by the book over
man.
here. It's like,
Yeah.
if you work by the
But yeah,
book,
I
you
was
would
just
know the rules, even the small ones. It's
Yeah.
D&D. 80% is combat, so you should at least learn combat.
See, can always count on a Latino brother to help me. Elias, or I never know if it's Elias or Elias, but see, D&D 5e has so many bonuses, abilities. It's easy to forget or miss something. Hey, if you are baking missing an eggs make a big. It does. No, I know it does, but I'm saying it's not that far. It's not that far of a deviation from like instead of using eggs, adding more
Yes.
butter or something like that. Like
Now, I was more aggrieved. Well, aggrieved is a strong word because in the end, I was more a
I
bit
will ruin
concerned,
your
like,
game.
oh, Nicholas is completely missing all of his damage potential because he never played.
I don't care
he-
about my damage.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care about D&D combat,
See,
which is
no,
fine,
but you see,
But
you
but
see,
then he
we are
agreed.
tackling.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, finish your
I
thought.
will finish then. You agreed to join my table and play D&D with me, so I assume you've looked it up and you've asked any questions you
did.
need to, and you understand how a rogue can
I
be
asked you questions
effective.
before the game, which were the ones that are, floating in my head. Death
Yeah.
saves,
Yes, you
dex
did.
for whatever. So, but what I want to say is we are tackling 5e. I can re-roll playing 5e, and I am the guy. I am that guy. I am fulfilling that role.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with me. I'm helping the experiment.
It's for the greater good.
Yeah, I'm the guy who is too much into roleplay and like doesn't read the room. I'm joking. But
I don't care about the
half
rules,
joking.
man. It's all about creating a cool scene. You
Yeah.
are the rule of cool, putting on sunshades.
I am the rule of cool. Yeah, I am the stereotype. Nah, but I'm making a straw man of myself here. It was just like a mistake, really. I just forgot. Like, if I remembered, like I would be adding the +2 proficiency.
I see what you mean. All right. So, next scene. Let's move on. Right. Let's listen to us roleplay. Do you want to continue from here, or I can skip a bit forward where the actual combat is happening?
Yeah, you can skip. I have only 10 minutes left. So.
Got it. So it's gonna take like 5 minutes. There was some preamble, the tension happening between the humans. I'm increasing the resolution of the battlefield to help you guys guide how to position everybody in your own mindscape, so to say. We're skipping 5 minutes.
Yep.
Let's go here, 5 minutes.
Hey, master. Stay together. I group.
I step out.
The humans were talking and walking, stopping their track, spotting corn pop. The guy with the axe yells out, "Orc!" The other one draws the bow and notches an arrow.
I spread out my arm with my one short sword in each hand, right? And I look at them, taunting them.
They exchange a glance. The guy with the axe nods and approaches you, coming
Inside the
up
hut.
to 30 feet, keeping his axe ready. in a battle stance.
Inside the hut, I look at Omelette. You go stand beside Master.
I pull the
My audio is so
wolf
scuffed.
pelt down over my face and transform into a dire wolf and bound out in front of Cairn and snarl my teeth at the approaching humans.
I'm still in the tent with an arrow and bow, ears twisting, just listening to everything.
Hunter are scared by the wolf bounding out to the orc side, loses an arrow to the dire wolf. Striking you. For 5 damage. The second human itself, seeing the wolf next to Corn Pop, stops in its tracks and
I wish
starts.
we could have made it feel more high paced, by the way we're talking, the way we're conducting the combat. And I don't know if that's a 5e thing, because I feel like when we've played Battle Trauma, we managed to make it feel like high paced. So I don't know if that was just the day we were in the mood, or that's a system thing. Like the scene is high tension, but we are conducting it very calmly, soft spoken.
Right. Yes. I feel like I'm still like talking slowly, trying to come up with the right words to express myself, to express the scene, and so that it's anchored right. Because when I speed up, right, I mix up words sometimes, and then I realize, oh, I said the wrong thing, and I want to go back and correct myself. But when I do, every time I do that, one of you is already trying to say something, and then I talk over you. So I slow down how I speak to have more clarity in my voice, but it also lets go of a lot of the tension that holy shit, fight's about to break out. The axe is drawn, the bow is notched, and the arrow is notched, right? Somebody's going to die tonight.
Yeah. I wonder if I started doing that more high pace, do you think everybody else will kind of jump into that? So I wonder if I'm a bit to blame, I get you trying to not stumble on your words and trying to not interrupt people, but I feel like the net gain of being more like high paced would be better than sacrificing a little bit of it for a few moments of clarity.
I think my goal, like as a game master, was preserving action economy. The enemies all get a turn, the players all get 1 turn. And we respect that because that is part of the initiative system in D&D. We skip rolling for initiative, so we don't have a clear rule set of who goes first. But in turn, the players are going to each take 1 turn and then give the ball over to the game master. So if I would do this again, right, and I keep this in mind, for Nicolas, let's have a faster pace. I call out corn pop, rat bastard, omelets, and then I take my turn. And I think one of the advices was if they don't say anything, then they wasted their turn, you skip them.
Yeah.
Because you were talking to Omelette, you gave him a command, he acted on it, but you giving the command was your turn, and I should have go ahead. Instead I was waiting for you to use your action, basically, like listening out for what is happening.
Mm-hmm. I was a bit confused on what to do in some moments, so I was really thinking, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I should have said the character panics. I should have just moved it forward. So
Yeah.
that's something I will fix. That specifically on during combats, it's on my part, being more high paced and moving do not take much time. And outside of combat, non-combat related, it will be taking more time to get into the headspace and moving things forward, like making things happen as Red Bastard, taking my share of the load of moving the
Yeah.
plot forward.
Absolutely.
That is my closing remark. I think out of that game, those are the things I want to fix, because I know that I failed on that a lot. As a role player, as a friend,
as a detective, really.
as a detective, yeah.
I do want to add on a good note. I loved the tension here, actually. Like, this is very, very hard to do, especially in D&D, because somebody asked, like, do I roll for initiative now, or do I attack first? Or do I roll stealth to sneak in and attack? Or somebody just jumps in, I cast Firebolt! Because they always want to have the first turn. None of that is here, by the way. Karn Pop walks up, arms spread with his weapons at the ready.
Yeah. Setting a cool scene.
Yes, and I loved that. And I was also describing the hunters are getting ready for battle. He draws his battle axe, the other guy notches his arrow.
Lord.
When it's his turn to speak again, they're going to have attacked him at this point. So building up the tension of I'm taking a quick turn and handing it over. Now I think absolutely it could be even quicker, because battle breaks loose, right? We can pick up the pace. But yeah, that's a highlight for me, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm attacking myself and everyone, but it was at the end of the day, it was still better than most things out there and games I've run in the past. So it's still a celebration.
Okay, we got Elias here. D&D is typically slower for combat because of all the attacks, abilities, spells, reactions, bonus actions. Yes, D&D has a lot. It used to be quite basic when it released, but now 10 years in, every book has a new, yeah, it's like a deck of cards, but every new deck releases a new ace, so you just have 25 aces up your sleeve ready to draw out. Like, haha, you activate my trap card. Actually, what's going to happen is my 4-turn combats that all triggers at the same time, and you're dead. It's like, well, the cool moment is gone. Oh, Mr. Bax is in chat. I was willing to take a hit for the cool factor. Yes.
And that's why we love you.
That's exactly. But when the direwolf appears, the hunter is going to be like, holy shit, the massive wolf.
Yeah.
That's where his aim is, where his eyes are. So he's going to shoot the wolf first. Just to a bit too what's the word? They're not the cool guys. They're not like the cool hunters who have everything under control. Those guys are out for easy prey. And one orc is easy prey. There too, you're one. The wolf shows up, and the goblin is still hiding in the background somewhere, which they don't know about.
Yeah. It didn't end up doing much anyway. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's it on my part, man.
Absolutely. I think it's a good place to stop. Let's have some closing words. I know you have to go soon, so anything you want to instill on the viewers who made it this far, 1 hour in?
If you made this far after all the scuff, first of all, congratulations. You have strong will. That's very respectable. But on the game, you know, that's the value of recording your games. You can look back and be like, gosh dang, fix your audio and be more proactive. So those two things are what I'm gonna take them to whatever next game I play, even if it's not 5e, which won't be, but you know, it's the
5e,
principle of the thing.
yeah, 5e never again, you know.
Yeah, not even once.
Not even once.
And neat. Yeah, that's it. That's what I have to say.
Exactly. I like that. I like that. And my closing thought is mindscaping. I just made a video about it, I think yesterday. I definitely felt after the session like, oh man, I felt deflated with my ability to paint a scene and paint a picture. I was slow with my words. And I felt like it's good if you slow down to have a deliberate description. But I felt like I was slowing down because I'm fishing for information from the players instead of giving them something cool to deal with. So as a table runner, I felt like, man, the world has to act. If the players don't, then the world will act. That's what I say on my shows. And I feel like I fell short in this session to manifest my own advice, so to say. So I'm taking this as a learning lesson. To slow moments are cool, but they are cool because they get switched up with the fast-paced combat and the political intrigue of, well, you have to decide, do you stab him in the back or do you join him in the fights? You know, like cool moments. Allow them to manifest and help your players to reach those opportunities. And they can choose if they take them, if they seize the day, so to say, if they go carpe diem.
Beautiful.
All right. Another case closed. Not guilty. You get to walk free. But, you know, you have some community service coming up this month, is what I would say. Maybe we can help out in the soup kitchen. Atone for role-playing sins.
The dice kitchen where we share dice with the less fortunate.
Yes.
The ones that are speckled and, you know, all that jazz.
Yeah. All the dice they have are digital, you know, they cannot even afford a real something real.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah.
Can swap the scene. Okay, no, it's all scuffed. I'm gonna see.
Now.
Yeah. Thank you for showing up. And we will see each other sometime next week, I think, when Warhammer happens. All right. Good evening, everybody. Gonna stop the broadcast now.